general utility use principles. Notes about common mistakes I see being done. Probably make myself. In general, one of the biggest things that is important to internalize is that while utility use is important, it is at the end of the day about creating advantages and conditions, creating easier gunfights, potentially avoiding gunfights when they are unadvantageous. So what that means is that sometimes it is not relevant or timely to use utility. Like say you're taking site here, and you've got a friend there planting, and it's like, well, this is smoked off, so I'm just gonna smoke that off too. And in the meanwhile, you have like all these places that someone can come in and swing you from, or even push the smoke. They're just like, okay, well, I need to be ready to actually fight people. Or when you're taking the site here and you're clearing corners, actually being like, say, get a friend, you cleared that, maybe you have a split coming in, and you cleared that, you got a friend here getting ready to swing these angles here, clear them. Then in that case, like, you already crossed this, it's just stopping here to smoke that instead of going with your friend and being ready to trade is worse. It's basically skipping a step that is required to get full control of the site. If your utility use is preventing you from being a part of the fight that you need to be a part of, then that is generally not good. Of course, sometimes you need someone throwing supportive nades, and that's fine. Let's say you're going for a fast force B rush or whatever, and you get a friend already here, like throwing just some basic like nades, trying to catch someone out playing. Maybe you're playing here, and then you don't need to, like, it's the worst when you see two people also like, well, I'm just gonna stop here and throw flashes also, and I'm just gonna, well, I'm gonna smoke this or whatever, and then you have like two people going in and one guy like 3 seconds behind them, and then you're just not gonna have that train that you need, especially with like lower quality guns where you're trying to get the plant down and you're ready to pay in like or being willing to trade like 2-4-1 or 3-4-1 just to get that bomb down and get that money. Get that post plant and those guns. Another thing that I see is like with mollies, because you're hard clearing something and then you're throwing a molly there, and then you're not like ready for the swing out, and that can happen because of a few reasons. One is because you molly it from a spot where you're then having to worry about multiple angles, and then you feel like you have to watch something else. And the other thing is, if it's like close, then they know that molly is coming before it actually starts hurting them too much. So you molly this, and then you the whole left known there, or just like starts looking at something else, and then what happens is, you know, or even if it's like a long hang time more like that, they're just holding a flash. They have time to flash out of whatever position they are in. That's a horrible flash, but you get the principle. That kind of ties in with like unsafe nade throws, which is throwing nades when you're exposed when you don't have to be, Like say you have a, this is smoked, and you have a friend who's gonna clear that, you're gonna flash for them. And you're gonna stand like this and flash there. When, well, this isn't a good smoke for it, but like when you're liable to get peeked from somewhere, when you could just like not be exposed and flash for somewhere else, and then come out with your gun out and be ready to actually face your opponent and help your friends fight. Regarding smokes are there's a few things you do with them that you kind of like, if you know what you can do or what you can achieve or try to aim for with a smoke, then you're gonna be able to get more out of them. The most common is obviously you're just like blocking sightlines, trying to get through gaps, angles, whatever. The second thing is creating new angles to play with, like I don't know when this would come up like here, but like blocking shit and just like having new angles that are uncommon and a bit more unpredictable for your opponents. And then of course smoking bomb is one thing, and then there's like the lurk smoke where you throw something and then you just try to come out behind it. And then the thing that I do want to talk about is like if you smoke this from spawn, from like here, this, yeah, you throw smoke that. No, it's not. What the fuck? Oh, it's left side, right? Yeah.
Deploying smoke shield.
Yeah. You smoke that from spawn, and then that's kind of like an approach smoke, where, as well as an info denial smoke. And the thing with smokes like this is if we, like if my team only throws that when we're doing a B split, then what's gonna start happening is there's either gonna be 3B and one just mid passively watching every time we go there, which is not gonna be great for us, potentially, or they're gonna start doing some set plays from here, like catching a peek or two from bridge. So some smokes you wanna, even if you don't use them, you wanna keep throwing them, like just have someone come here every round and throw that, and then they're gonna have to like respect that smoke. Maybe you don't even use water that round, just have someone like spotting for pushes. Maybe you crawl up here, wait for a B split, maybe you use that too. Maybe you have bridge control, maybe you don't, maybe you use that to take positions close to A, but well, like my point is, some smokes can do many things, and they're at their best when they are essentially like your opponent has to respect the things that the smoke could be achieving as well as what they are absolutely achieving. And then regarding HEs, there's a few things. One is like in general HEs get more powerful the later in the round you get. Say in a retake with people calling that they tagged someone up, then the HE goes from like a whatever to a potential like hard clear. Like if you know they're tagged with a scout in 1v or 2v1 or whatever, then like then you know he's not there anymore. But also the tagging ability of the HE is important to realize. Like there's a reason a lot of anti-rush setups involve nading molly, because I don't think the timing here isn't such that you need it essentially, but like in general on some maps, you molly and then you nade the molly, and then what happens is the opponents get tagged and they get slowed and they take extra damage from that. As well as, of course, like you can essentially gamble with your nades, which is, you know, fun. Like if they're on a force or save, you can do that if you just and tag people up if they're pushing it. Deny like a fast play and get some damage in. Other stuff is just like in terms of this old chestnut of CS2 adding this ability is, first of all, listen to this. Everyone's gonna know that smoke's gonna fade or pop, but so I can potentially go for a bigger, like if you aim straight up, and then it's gonna be almost instant after the sound. Another thing is that I don't see people do enough is use this as a bait. If you know there's a guy there somewhere, you can try and pop it and peek from the other angle if that's possible. It's always a say you're holding this gets smoked. You can do something like this. Well, obviously you'd want to peek only after that. Like, it's a good distraction. I have a whole different video about flashbangs, so I'm not gonna go too deep into that, because you can just watch that one. I think it merits its own video. But the major, like, number one point is just being, or knowing when to use your nades and when to not use your nades, because if you use them for nothing, or like if you don't get the maximum usage out of them, or the maximum value, that's fine, it's whatever, but if you use them in a way that actively hampers your team's ability to fight advantageous fights, then that's a problem. Or give yourself for free. Say I'm rotating here, and I wanna support my friend on site somehow. Like if I throw a flashbang like this, and I know he's just sitting here, then that's fine. But it's not gonna, like, it's probably not gonna blind him if I call him that I'm flashing for him. If I'm just like chucking a flash high like this, then that has the potential to fuck him hard. So like assuming neither of those results in him killing anyone, or a big delay in the enemy's like side take, then I should throw the one that has less potential to cause harm to my teammate or myself. And if I can't throw an nade that isn't gonna potentially fuck my teammate, or doesn't let me get in here in time to fight with him, support him, then I shouldn't throw a nade. And another time when you probably shouldn't throw a nade is, let's say, in a post plant or a retake, 1v1, 2v1, whatever, like flash situation where you're pushing your advantage of them not knowing where you are. Like maybe you hear them running around. They're you hear them coming here to check pillar and check long. Like if you try and flash for your you try and flash for yourself like this, then yeah, maybe you get lucky, but what's gonna happen is, oh, now I know where you are. And we can fight compared to just like listening to their footsteps and trying to find a good timing. Especially if you're have the potential to say you hear them clearing this and you have the potential to just walk back here and then come back. Instead of like, oh, they're coming, I know I'm gonna flash this and kick into them, and then you die and you look like a real idiot. You can use utility to create a presence somewhere, say, and delay and deny. Say you want to do something like push 3B or start with 3B or push through A, then you can start like super aggressively, like not maybe dumping your vehicle, but making sure that there's no way that your enemies are gonna be able to take the space that you're supposed to deny. As well as then of course delaying, especially with like Molly. It's important to know that you don't have to always, like, if you, especially versus splits or something, like if you can manage to find an angle where you just spot something and then you just molly it and fall back. So a whole lot. Those kinds of, maybe like on a site it's more realistic where you just like spot this slightly and then you just molly it and fall back. But like those kinds of an iconic example would be on a site, Ancient, where you just wait on the signpost and then when you spot someone you just molly it and call for a don't guy to help you. About pushing smokes, it's an art essentially, or an intuitive thing where, like, say this is smoked in a 1v1. You can wait for that, but it's a gamble anyway, because you're gonna just push through and then you're just gonna have to clear angles. But like essentially you're trying to find smokes that aren't being watched, right? So if they only have one spot smoked and not enough people to watch that smoke in addition to all the other angles that they should be watching, and that's a smoke that you can justify pushing through. Like, if this is smoked, nothing else is smoked, it's a, I don't know, 2v3 or whatever, then you can, and they're planting, you can probably find a kill through there, because the other guy is having to worry about a lot of other angles too. But that's just like a feeling thing and like a gamble, and you're just gonna have to figure out when the gamble is worth and when it isn't. Anything else? Yeah, I guess baiting for your teammate with util is a thing as well, where you're basically, say you're splitting this in a 2v1 retake, then what you can do is like try to make it seem like you're both, or safely creating pressure from here by like smoking this cross, maybe clearing, spamming that a bit, flashing above the smoke, coming here, just like using your util to create a sense of pressure and urgency, where then the other guy can maybe just like walk here, and because you're here, even if you're still safe, when the other guy peeks, you can still peek with him, but like, you know, you're creating a situation with the utility where it's much more likely that he's gonna be watching you, and that's like creating a situation where you create an advantage by knowing who's gonna peek first. I guess that's most of it. Yeah, there's like probably a lot of other stuff that I forgot to mention, but just a couple of basic like notes about utility and how to use it, like without going into lineups and shit. Just like general concepts.